Hi, I'm Victoria, a licensed esthetician and your host of your Best Esthetician podcast. This is Chris, my business partner and husband. Today's topic we are going to go over is Hydrafacial worth the investment as a solo esthetician? I think that there's a lot of different opinions on this topic, but we're going to go into our personal experience.
And we are going to talk about specifically Hydrafacial TM trademark.
Yes,
and
trademark.
Patented. So Hydrafacial,
Yeah.
the company Hydrafacial, not Hydrofacial, which they also own the trademark for.
He's very into that.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to specifically say, because I know it could be, I mean, a lot of people have different feelings about what machine it matters, but we specifically
The one that costs a lot of money.
Yeah, and it's what we vouch for the most. It's what, to be honest, is what I also recommend. Before we go too far into yes or no, do we recommend investing as a solo esthetician? I do recommend, if you're going to do it, go with the real one. It's like buying a fake iPhone off Temu and expecting the same Apple. So you can go in first about what your initial thoughts on if solo estheticians should recommend the Hydrafacial getting off.
I think it depends on how far you are into your business and if you feel you have the clientele for it. So what I mean by that is if you feel you can sell the service and you have a clientele that will definitely be interested in Hydrafacial. When I first initiated or was considering bringing on Hydrafacial to my practice, I briefly brought it up to my current clients, and I didn't have a lot at the time, but I, kind of put the
feelers,
the feelers out, and I asked my clients, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about getting the service that I've worked with in the past, and, explained all the benefits of it. And I got honestly 50% feedback of people that would book. So that gave me hope. I know I can sell the service and that I completely believe in it. So that was a huge part of it too.
Yeah. And when we first started the business, that was one of Victoria's big things. Was she was pretty adamant about not wanting to start a business unless we could have Hydrafacial. The results that she got with Hydrafacial and the clients' success and overall happiness after a service and retention that she's had before were really tied to Hydrafacial. So we knew that it had to come on. And I think, for those reasons, and also just for the general joy of you doing what you do, you didn't want to just give face massages all day, and you don't mind giving facials, but that was not your long-term goal, where it was almost like I don't really want to start my own business if I can't do Hydrafacial. So we knew we wanted to bring it on, but of course we could not afford it in the beginning. We couldn't afford the payment. We didn't even want to think about setting a meeting with them. But so that's what we did.
I also worked with Hydrafacial in the past, so I was very confident in performing the service and selling it. So I think it's one of those things that has to align with your business, and if you feel your clients are going to actually buy it. So
and I think every clientele is different as well. So you understanding your clientele, we were also marketing anti-aging clients, and I think that's one of Hydrafacial, they market as being good for every skin type, everything, everyone, everywhere, forever. But for us, we knew anti-aging specifically clients would benefit highly from Hydrafacial.
And it's expensive. There's a lot of consumables that come with Hydrafacial. There's a lot of overhead costs. So it is one of those services, no matter what. I would say if you are going to invest in your first device, make sure that it's a device that aligns with your services. So for instance, if you focus on acne and you have a lot of acne scarring, I would say it would make more sense for you to probably invest in a microneedling device. And if you focus on anti-aging or whatever, and you want to take it to the next level, I would invest in a device that makes sense for your practice.
For sure. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Making sure the clients that you're already treating would like to elevate to that, or knowing that when they get to a point to go, I need more results, what's going to give it to me? And you just don't go, well, we'll just keep doing facials. Right. And I think that also would align with things like moving into different product lines. And I mean, people might argue over it, but like for what we feel like with Skin Better can do to client skin, but it's really expensive. The opening order order is really high. So even investing into a product line, which we brought on early, that was our biggest investment starting, was like, you also were like, I needed to be skin better. You knew the clients you wanted to build were going to be around buying that product line.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like you said, is with everybody, you should look at, your first kind of, where am I investing in? Where am I taking out loans from? Making sure the steps you're taking is, one, what you love to do. So then when you treat the clients that you love treating, you're doing it correctly, right?
Definitely.
Like you said, if you're all you're treating is acne, Hydrafacial probably is not a good idea, to be completely honest.
Hydrafacial doesn't treat acne.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean,
it can, but it's not like, if you have acne, it's not like coming for a Hydrafacial every 2 weeks, your acne will be all gone.
Exactly.
Right? But then also the type of clients who tend to have acne tend to be younger, right? I mean, majority of acne clients are younger, and they can't afford $250 every 2 weeks for Hydrafacials either.
Definitely.
Right?
And I say this a lot, but don't compare yourself to other estheticians or service providers just because they carry every single line, every single service. Pick a product device if you are going to invest in something, and something that you know that your clients will love and that you can sell. I think that's what it comes down to is, you feel like you can sell the service, then 100% yes, go for it. So for me, having, background in Hydrafacial and being super confident in it. And I think that there are different types of estheticians. There are different types of estheticians that feel comfortable with it. And I really wouldn't recommend a esthetician fresh out of school investing in a Hydrafacial. I've seen that a lot, and it's really easy to get sucked into, oh my gosh, if you sell this many Hydrafacials.
Those reps are crazy too. Remember what reps' whole goal is to make a sale. They're car salesmen. And I don't want to be mean to reps out there. There's amazing reps, and they're
they don't
sweet
care
people.
If you go under.
But to be honest, they're there to sell what they sell. And they break down these things that are really, we've been tempted really bad, where it's like, if you buy in at this price, this is exactly how much you'll make in 1 month. You only have to sell 5 services. And it's like, how hard it is to freaking. And then they're like, well, here's marketing material for you. And it's like basic graphic and basic before and afters.
That's a really good point. We learned really quickly that you should not, that whoever comes in and sells you to your door, you just have to take it with a grain of salt and just say, okay, let me think about it.
Make sure it fits for your business.
They want you. They are desperate for a sale. So you can definitely.
Yeah. And like I said, not to be mean, but their whole job, they're salespeople.
Yeah.
But the way this industry is set off, and especially when it comes to these like top companies, Epicutis, Hydrafacial, Skin Better, Face Reality, I don't think has reps, but all these bigger companies that have reps go out and can come to you in person and buy you coffee and give you samples. You have to remember their job, they make commission. They are commission based. They're not just hourly doing it for the fun and how much they love skincare. They are commission based.
Yeah.
This is like a separate little rant, but
let's go back to the Hydrafacial too.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a really good point. I think that we even though it was a little bit off topic, I think that we did cover some really important points, especially if somebody who is considering investing in any line, any services. But back to, is Hydrafacial worth the investment? I think it just has to work for your practice. I don't think it's something that I said, if you're just opening up your business as a solo esthetician, from personal experience, we open up with just facials, dermaplaning, the basics, so you can really grow from just having basic services. I think that there is a point in your business where you do have some missing pieces, where you have to figure out what services that you're going to add on that are going, and that's where you make the right decision, a smart, business decision that's going to help you grow and make more money. I think for me, Hydrafacial was 100% worth the investment. I had clients that were ready to move to that next step, and I had clients that were ready and wanted more because I had background in it. And so I think that's the type of, provider that I wanted to be. From then I, added on Skin Pen and
And we also found our dream clientele with Hydrafacial, because when you offer Hydrafacial,
That's
one
like
of our
all my
things too
services.
was that people are a lot of times, it's a very popular service, especially for people who understand this industry. They're searching for people around them that offer Hydrafacial.
You have to like understand too that Hydrafacial has a name, and
Yep.
in that it's not going to just get you clients, but the device matters. And
Yep.
when people are searching, they are going to be searching
There's
Hydrafacial
been
near
plenty
me.
of people before that have came into you because you offer the real Hydrafacial, and not because they've had and not because they're so pretentious. It's because they've had experiences in the past of people going, it's a Hydrafacial, and they come in and don't get the same experience that they've maybe had at a different med spa with the real Hydrafacial. So I think, and then Hydrafacial does offer some amazing things of people to search and find, people, spas near you that offer it. But I think even the look of the machine, depending on your type of business, we knew when Victoria had this giant machine next to her, people saw her differently. She wasn't just the girl doing facials in a suite that, opened up her own business. It was like, oh, wow. If they don't know the industry or anything about it, it's like, look at that big old machine, as silly as it is. It's like, whoa, look at that big old machine. That must be good. I want one of those.
Exactly.
And Hydrafacial does a great job with their branding, where it's touchscreen and has pretty colors and it looks sleek and modern and premium and expensive. So that does a lot for your business. If, like Victoria said, if that's where your business is going, I think it is a perfect fit, and it can bring in clients based off you having a picture with it. As silly as it is.
I think that too. If you're not planning on this is your whole business, this is how you survive or how you make your money. I think that if you're going into the mindset of like, this is my not a hobby, but I mean, if
kind of like a side job,
like a side job, then don't invest in the Hydrafacial. If this is, I mean, for us, it's all or nothing. So it's something that it was really important to me.
Big risk, big reward for us.
Definitely. And so now that I look back on it, I'm so happy that we invested in a machine that I'm confident in and that I've worked with before. And I wouldn't suggest your machine just sitting around. So you have to go into it knowing that, okay, I'm going to be in here at least 3 to 4 times a week, and I'm going to sell this service.
Yeah, for sure. Cause it's not even on
your
the
monthly
longer,
payments
the payments
are
big. Yeah. Unless you have the cash lying around to buy a $35,000-$40,000 machine.
Yeah.
The payments are big. And for us, when we took those payments, we didn't have months two's payments sitting around. It was like, we're going to sell the service to make the payments.
Yes.
Right. Like our beginning strategy was like, if we can just get if we can book enough Hydrafacials just to make the payment, we're all good. Cause then the facials can give us the profit. And then very quickly the Hydrafacials swapped right over, and Hydrafacials made us the profit.
90%, 80 to 90% of my monthly revenue is from Hydrafacial.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
So that shows a lot about what it means to us and our business and the type of clientele we have, but it's very specific to our clientele.
Exactly.
So that's important to remember.
No, totally. And I would say if you are doing this not full time, or it's not a serious, I mean, not that it's not serious, but if you're not doing this full time, or it's, something that you're not fully booked out on, I would say get a knockoff Hydrafacial machine. Not promoting that, but I mean, I wouldn't say go like I'm like Hydrafacial or nothing.
Yeah, if
but
it's more of like you're adding a fun treatment or adding something
I would just say like don't
then,
invest in the Hydrafacial.
Yeah, then maybe it's not really worth it, because with the Hydrafacial payments and everything they're offering with it, it's not worth your money if you're not going to fully dive in. It's not worth what they're going to put behind you, because they also want you to be successful.
Yeah.
They want you to stand with the Hydrafacial brand.
I mean, if
All
you
those
have
things are
clients that
important to
aren't
them.
willing to pay the price of Hydrafacial, then no, it's not worth it. If you're, I mean, in all honesty, if you're offering like cheaper services, I would not recommend Hydrafacial.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's just like it just depends on your
You're not
clientele.
going to get clients coming in just all of a sudden spending double what they did before on a service that they're just like, I'm happy with what I got already.
Yeah.
But,
is there anything else that you wanted
No,
to
I think
touch
that's just
on?
about it. I mean, we ranted a little bit. There's some really good information here. I think that if there's any other questions you guys have about Hydrafacial specifically, we can get into more numbers about how much things cost, what monthly payments look like. like for us, what our revenue specifically from Hydrafacial is, we are more than willing to dive deep on those topics if people want to know. Those are like
I would
the
love to.
secrets and the nitty gritty. But yeah, please comment those down below or DM us on Instagram, which is at skinbyuaz on Instagram.
Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.